What is challenging about implementing market-based programming?
Yeah, surely in South Sudan now we have challenges of implementing market-based programming. One of the challenges is the issue of the access as per the seasonality. The roads are cut off and we cannot able to access markets in the rural areas. Two, we also have the issue of the price fluctuation. We have limited dollar circulation in the country, and most of our imports are from neighboring countries, and this has also raised the demand and raised the prices in the market. We have also the institutional framework. The government is not accepting the market-based programming because they fear that there's going to be a lot of dollar in the country. And again, we have the issue of the capacity. All the organizations that are humanitarian organizations that are operating in South Sudan, they lack capacity for implementing cash-based programming. The last one is the issue of the tools. We don't have unified tools that can able to support the implementing partners in doing market analysis.
One challenge to implementing market-based programming is that if a partner or local government is not familiar with cash assistance, they may be reluctant to do a cash-based response. Some partners who are not familiar with cash-based assistance may feel that beneficiaries will receive cash from multiple sources, or the cash will not be used for its intended use. However, some stakeholders new to cash and voucher assistance need to see it in order to understand that it is a good modality. That is why it is best to orient and train partners in local government about cash-based approaches and market-based programming before an emergency.
For us, the most impediments in this, the cooperation of the authorities, because authorities sometimes they are skeptical. Why you will go to the market? Why you will do these assessments while everything is known, the prices is known, everything is known. Why you want to go there? We told them that we want to go to the ground so that we can have the full picture, to have the full dimensions of the subject. But sometimes they don't give us the permit. Then we do it the other way. We call our community actors and volunteers there, and they are doing the market-based assessment for us.
Bueno, los mayores retos que existen cuando implementamos estudios de mercado para mejorar los aspectos de las transferencias de efectivo pueden ser, dentro de la experiencia de World Vision, muchas veces no se pueden acceder por razones climáticas, o puede ser en este espacio del COVID porque no se pueden acceder los mercados. Otras causas pueden ser que los aspectos de violencia o de inseguridad no permiten a los grupos acceder a los mercados y preguntar a los productores. Otras veces los gobiernos impiden el transporte durante tiempo o a ciertas partes de la comunidad o del país. En otros casos puede ser el temor, el miedo que existe dentro de los productores o de los comerciantes a decir cómo va su negocio o la capacidad que ellos tienen, porque hay aspectos de extorsiones o de aspectos de violencia que los pueden afectar a ellos si dan esta información.
Most of the market analysis exercises discussed are reviewed primarily focused on the feasibility of using cash transfer programming and the market capacity to sustain such interventions. But market-based programming is beyond the feasibility of cash and voucher assistance. So there are also challenges in emergency context to be able to understand the complexity of the roles and relationships among market system actors, including the equity and power dynamics to play. Market analysis are still mostly agency-centered, such as how can we as humanitarians use market to deliver our responses, as opposed to people-centric, how our communities are using and accessing markets to cover their needs. In experience of organization in market-based programming, organizations with experience of market-based programming develop the program around market-based approaches. They put that lens and they have these expertise on longer-term experiences on how markets behave. What are the power dynamics, and what could be the volatilities and trends in economic drivers, so that they design whole project cycle around the market systems. For example, in South Sudan, the market exchange rate in September 2019 was 300 South Sudanese pounds, and in September 2020 it plummeted to 511 SSP, and the indicative rate does not have any big changes. So was this considered in market assessments when we were doing this market analysis by the organizations? Was any trend analysis done by any organization about the exchange rate? This is a question. Like, if we look at the private sector, when they do any type of interventions, they consider trends of last 20 years, last 10 years, or they also consider the forecasting. How organizations are forecasting, are considering those trends is a question. And then this is why I put like the experience in the market-based programming. Funding is also could be a big challenge, like funding our organization capacity to implement is also a bigger challenge, as humanitarian organizations budget around cash delivery or supporting markets and may not have any contingency budget for occurring shocks.